Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this look at a new mod map to Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. What follows is the map tour that I did when this map originally came out onto the mod hub. I did all my prep, I did my recording, started to edit, and it got removed from the mod hub. It was left on PC and Mac, but console was having a problem. So all my recording was all sat waiting. That's all good to go. But what I will say is the changelog, it does say a new save game is required. It has fixed the save game bug, which was a console issue. It's added an animal purchase trigger. So when I start talking about this map at the start and I say there's no animal dealer, or somewhere in the video I talk about there's no animal dealer, that's been added in now. I've done a tiny bit of recording which will put that in at the right place on the map so you'll be able to see it. Other than that, the map tour is exactly how it should be. Enjoy! Ladies and gentlemen, I am here on Palatinate Forest. This is by Westphaltz Modding, 305.13 megabytes download. There are 7 required mods which download automatically. Slot count on all 3 game modes is 1097. I removed the equipment and machinery you start with and got it down to 1076. Not a huge drop, but you might not want to start with the starting equipment. Now, if you've jumped on here, it's a difficult one for me because I know often people don't like forestry. They won't click on a forestry map tour or click on a forestry map. What I will say, regardless whether you like forestry or not, this map is spectacular, stunning. It's beautiful. If you want to get away from the world for a while and just have a wander in the forest, you don't even have to leave your house. This is, honestly, it's incredible. I can't get my head around it. So it does say it is the largest contiguous forest area in Germany and part of the cross-border Palatinate Forest Northern Vosges Biosphere Reserve. Bit of a mouthful. It also does go on to say there are 82,000 trees. You can expect real terrain elevation model, which is, honestly, it's incredible. But it does also say, due to the challenging terrain and narrow winding paths and roads, no splines for helpers have been installed. They would really, really struggle. Let's have a look at the map, because the map looks like this. And what I will say as well, it talks about the different types of forestry. There's deciduous, coniferous and mixed forest. That's coniferous, not carnivorous. Don't have to worry. You'll be fine. But what's incredible is on the map itself, you can actually even see the difference in types of woodland from the map, which is just wow. There are valleys that run through here, which are some of the most picturesque things. Babbling brooks, little winding paths. Like this little track here is like a little hiking trail, which if you're on a mountain bike, or I'm going to go along part of that actually in the side-by-side just to show you. And I'm only going to show you a fraction of what's on here. Now, if you want to do farming, there are areas like this, for example, that plot there. And there are some other areas which have got these open patches. Like some of them are hillsides, some are quite steep. If you want to start a farm up in the hills, you have got areas you can make fields straight away. Plus, this whole area along here, you can make into smaller fields, long sort of thin fields. There is farming available if you've got the wherewithal to attack it and go for it. Now, as far as plot prices go, let's go up to actually farmland. On New Farmer, we start with this plot here, 20. We start with this little plot here, this little plot across the road, which has got a garage on it, and we do start with this little plot just up here. Plot prices aren't actually too bad for the forestry plots. They're okay. I'm not going to lie, they're not bad at all. Now we have an overriding plot 1, which is here, which does all the roadways, those valleys and stuff like that. But even that, 1,888,000, it's not horrendous. And if you wanted to do that off the start, and we give you all this down here as well, which I have to say I think is pretty cool. And it takes in some of those areas where you could put in sort of farm fields again if you wanted to. So come along with me and have a look. Sorry, that was, you'd think by now I would have remembered when I start. I do all my prep, then I come on and get overexcited. I want to start straight away, and all I need to do is rotate a couple of times like that, and then you lose that little bit of glitchiness on the start of every map. So our side by side is here, and it is, I don't know if it's just me hankering for the outdoors. Maybe I need a trip to the lakes again, I don't know. But it's sometimes, and there's no disrespect to any other map maker that's made forestry maps, sometimes forestry maps can be a little bit clunky. They can be a little bit so focused on forestry, you lose that kind of, I don't know, the map quality, maybe, not always. Now I think this was part of one of the plots we start with. Can we open the barn here? We can. So storage is just there. Shed over to the right hand side there. I'll talk about build mode in just a second. There's not much in build mode over and above the 7 required mods. What's nice as well is you've got all these different bits here. There's a small sawmill, there's a large sawmill. You've got all these supports for piling your logs up, so if you want to store your logs up you can. And there are plenty of mulches and things within the mod hub anyway, so if you didn't really want to do a huge amount of forestry, you want to have a little bit, but you want to clear some area and just have some challenging farming, that would be quite an interesting one. And then we've got front loader there, log trailer and tractor. That's it, that's the start equipment, that's all you get. That's all you're getting. Now there are a couple of plots we're actually going to purchase. This has got a small sawmill which we're going to head to. So you've got plot 18 there, 28,000, not too bad, buy that. If we come up to the top, is it up here? Might have been further over. There we go, over here. Got this one here, plot 56, I'm going to purchase. Plot 55 has got the other sawmill on, but I'm going to purchase because it does add some extra bits on it. And then we come all the way around here. Where are we? To here. Plot 55 is just a placeables area. But again, there's plenty of scope for then... Why does it not allow me to click on it? There we go. By that plot there. Again, they're not too expensive, those plots anyway. So, I've got to remember the route I've got to take. Now, as far as the route to go up to the sort of northern climes over there, there's a roadway that kind of runs up here, a main road. This road here runs along, it's kind of a dirt track road type way. But I wanted to take in this valley bit here, which not all of the roadway does. I suppose I should really, it would be more sensible to go that way. Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I should. I just liked, you know, the little hiking trail. I thought was quite cool. We'll see as we go. It's a beautifully crafted map. It really is. Actually, I'm just going to double click on something on my PC because I want to double check something. Yeah. So Westphalt's modding. If this is the quality of a Westphalt's modding map. According to this on FS25, this is the first map they've done. Please, 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 if anyone mentions this to you or you happen to watch this, make some other maps because this is staggeringly good. Now I know I'm a sucker for a forestry map, but again, like I say, if you're watching, you can't take away from the fact it is a cracking map. There's so much detail. I still can't remember 82,000 trees. So we're going to head straight up. Yeah, straight up this way. Which brings us to the small sawmill. It's just here. So you can purchase that for 36 grand. We have bought the ground that this is on. So you get the sheds for storage and stuff. You've got a fuel tank over there, 5,000 litres refillable. And you've got bale and pallet storage there, 250 items. So that's the smaller of your sawmills down in the south. Oh, while we're here, build mode, if we go into there, we had under, I think it was, I want to say sell points. Yeah, there we go. Biomass heating plant under the Palatinate Forest mod. And then we had under, like I said, there wasn't a huge amount. Fences. There's a required mod fence pack, the Meadow fence. And then we've also got the double rod mat, but there's this one here, the 2-rail fence, which has been added in over and above. And then finally, I think it was under paint textures. There were quite a lot of paint textures, nothing under trees or bushes, but quite a lot of textures and things available. So for landscaping and fiddling around and making it a bit more your own, there's plenty there to be looking at. So that's our build mode. Did I say there were no custom crops? There are no custom crops. Now, as far as contracts go, let me just go to there. We've got wood transport contracts. Now, it does say, where was it on here? It did say 35 spots for transport missions. So, as far as I'm aware, I don't think there's going to be any rock breaking ones and maybe no deadwood ones. It just says transport missions, so I'm assuming it's just wood transport. But there being 35 separate spots, that's quite impressive. Now, this is that track I'm talking about. It's a little track, but the fact it's even shown on the map, I think, is quite incredible, really. Follow that all the way along. I will go the roadway. It makes more sense. And some of these trackways, be careful. There are potholes and bits and bobs as well that make it a little bit more challenging than just driving on a normal track. The Shadow Realm was calling me. So let's carry along here. I think we'll still get to see all the going this way. We should still be able to see the lovely they're sort of gorges. You've got waterways down the bottom. These lovely glades, I guess, as well. The sound effects aren't too much. The lighting's great. Colour palette's good. It's, you know, I can't say enough good stuff about it. So you can kind of see down to the right already. Down here, you've got these kind of, I mean, this is a slightly boggier area down here with water and ponds and stuff. But it does open out into more grass. Oh, no, please don't get stuck. Oh, no. I haven't, have I? How in the world did I manage to do that? Come on. It's too steep. I can't get back out. There we go. Get stuck down a ravine on my map. It's all brilliant. I suppose I could have tapped back to the vehicle, but yeah, it's not nearly as much fun driving on the roadways as it was along that track. Overhanging branches and tree stumps and trees in the way. Right, so here is where we kind of come across a little bit here, and then it opens out into this valley. Look, and this again, it's stunning. I'm gonna get stuck again, aren't I? Look at this. Now this is one of those maps. I know my thumbnail. I could have taken 500 pictures. All of them looked phenomenal, and none of them do it justice. I think I took 4 or 5, and then I used one that the map makers had already done. It's just, is it not just? I know. I know. I just don't want people to, you know, it's that thing, they see the word forest and go, no, I don't like forestry, and that's it. And I guess that, no, there would be a lot of work required if you were going to do anything more than just forestry, I suppose. But you can see down to the right, you've got these open areas that you could absolutely make into fields and stuff if you wanted to. I mean, not particularly wide, but you could do a longer field. And I think we'll be coming up on one of the plots we own. I say one, yeah. There's a little field just coming up on the right. Yeah, we're getting near to it. Which is just about, there you go, you can see it through the trees. Look. So, you know, that's an example of what you could do. So this is the field we start with. So we're here now, and here. But yeah, there's all of this all along here. I mean, admittedly, that is on the plot 1, so you would need to buy. You know, it's expensive, but you've still got a lot of work to do before you even. It's not like you're buying that and you're getting a load of farm fields. You've still got work to do, even if you did spend the money to buy it before you began on your map. So what we're going to do now is go right out to the end. Coming up on our right hand side is the biomass heating plant, which is just down there. Then right out to the far end we're going to go to the vehicle shop, workshop trigger, gas station, and there's also the reset point for the map. I have to say, I got strange, was it Dahlberg? I got a Dahlberg vibe from these little valleys. I also got, as I was going round, Holmerkra vibes. And when I was over the north of the map, you'll see when we get over there, a real Holmerkra vibe to it as well, which I really like. So, here's your vehicle shop, main machinery store, workshop trigger just there, gas station just over the back, and this is the reset point for the map. So this is future MrSealyp, just joining in the fun. I thought I'd show you. I know I probably talked about this at the start of the video, but up here, and we've already done the bits and bobs up here, just there is where you'll find the animal dealer that's been put into the map as part of the updates. I think the initial reason, I probably already said this at the start of the video, I think was to do with people having problems saving the game. It wouldn't save properly, but anyway, it's all been updated. It is now released on console, and there you go, there's your animal dealer point. The rest of the map tour will continue as before. Now we come back to the map. The next place we're heading to is over here, which is fine. I thought I'll just cut through the trees. And the elevation change is bonkers. I mean, absolutely bonkers, which is great. Again, this is one of those maps, if you are going to be tackling this for forestry, this is going to be cable yarders, winches, you know, you be able to utilise all the really cool toys that come with forestry. Then pretty much everything HR Forsten Fahrzeugbau make. So back along here to where we were at the biomass heating plant, and we're going to take a little side turning up over the top, which will take us to the northern sawmill, and then we'll swing right the way around the back, which will take us to the farmers market, which is the sell point, another sell point on the map. Just trying to keep an eye out to the right hand side where our turning is. Actually, when we come up to here, I'll show you. I will go airborne. Oh, no, it's not here. A little bit further on still. Here we go. So if we turn back up here, what we'll do, let's just whiz up here quickly. I'll say quickly. I can tab back to the thing, but you can see the steepness, the incline. But what's cool is that you've got trees that are down already. You've got a load of trees. Where was it as I came up here? That are kind of wind blown. Yeah, here, blown down and damaged. Which I think again adds to the whole. Well, all of it. You know, you might be tasked with coming out and you can use the tree marking spray. Come out and mark the trees that need to be removed. Or again, I'm just thinking out loud. But if you did want to do farming, you come out to a spot like this, get yourself a little farmhouse, some chickens, some bees, have yourself a couple of little fields. It would be small scale farming, but you absolutely could. It's a nice little spot. So I'm going to head back down to our side by side and we shall continue. Back in this side beside, let's go. Again, this is one of those maps that if you are transporting stuff, and you know, if you've been playing a lot over the course of the day, or you're coming from work and you're playing, or you're tired, we've all done it. Well, you just, you know, your head nods and you end up going across a field, and if you've got crop destruction on, or you nod off and you crash into a lamppost, or you nod off and you go, you know, not a good day, not a good day. I still keep waiting for that, you know. I know you can put a log in the back of something, strap it down, you can winch to a log. When we get winches that winch other vehicles, and I'm talking about console, there may already be something like that on PC, but on console I know there isn't at the moment, but how cool would that be? Recoveries and stuff like that. Anyway, I know it's not farming, but I say it's not farming, it is farming. I've watched plenty of real world farmers that have to recover vehicles that are trapped in bogs and mud, and yeah, no, it's farming. What's interesting about as we head across here, it's difficult to tell until, you know, if you zoom out, kind of get a slight feeling for it. It's let's go airborne from here. It's the height of the hill as it comes up. Look at the size of this. I mean, it goes up and up and up. Like I say, all these little ravines, canyons, all up to the top here, and you can see the difference as you've got the mixed forestry. Then you come into the, you know, up here. Look, big open space up here. So down to the right, as we come along here, is where the next sawmill is, the larger of the sawmills. We've already bought the plots of land, we haven't bought the sawmills, and we can come into here and do that. No, that one there. There you go. So you can see the two sawmills that are available. There's your smaller one, there's your larger one. The smaller one doesn't do prefab wall sections, that one does. And that's it. But there, you know, there's always the possibility, if you clear a bit of land, do a bit of landscaping, you might want to add some other ones in. Not necessarily sawmills, but there might be productions and mods and stuff that are available that use wood to do other things, or use the things that the sawmills produce to do other things. Now we will turn this corner and head down again. So I'm already thinking while I'm doing this, so I've done my thumbnail already for this, but I'm not already thinking I might change it. So we're going to take the right fork, so we're right at the north of the map now. Another one of these lovely little glade river valleys. We head out. So there was that little plot we purchased, which was plot 56. Now we didn't start with a sleep and wardrobe trigger, but plot here, plot 56, does have sleep and wardrobe trigger just here, and a little farmhouse. There you go. Just there. We do have a fuel tank, sheds, and we do have some racking. And in the description it does say 2 pre-built farms. And I'm looking, thinking, have I missed something? Unless it's this bit down here. Oh, maybe it's this end bit here. We've got the sawmill, the mini sawmill there. I suppose that is, you've got the fuel tank, you've got a bale and pallet storage, and there were some sheds and stuff. So I guess that's the other one, is it? Yeah, I can't see anything else that looks like sort of buildings or a clearing. That one doesn't have anything like, so that's a placeables area. Yeah, I think so. But anyway, so this is a sort of pre-made farm area. You might decide you want to start here instead, and then next door to this is the larger of the sawmills. And once you purchase the land the sawmill's on, and they are separate, so the sawmill can be purchased separate to the land. Once you purchase the land down here, you do also have a bale and pallet storage out the back here for 250 items and some sheds and stuff here. So there you go, bale and pallet storage just there. Again, with plenty of rack in here for putting your logs in for storage. I love the way as well this is all integrated into the map. It's so smoothly done, you know, the landscaping, the way it's all been fitted in, it just feels very natural, like it's always been there. So right out heading west, I'm going to follow this track road. I suppose it's more of a metalled road than a track, and we're going to sweep round to the farmers market. There's not an animal dealer, there's no BGA, nothing like that on here. So as far as it goes, if you did decide you were going to do animals, maybe have some pigs amongst the trees or some sheep on a hillside plateau or whatever you want to do, you'd have to buy them directly. It's a fairly minor thing. I'm pretty sure it says in the description. Let me just scroll down. Yes, since the map is focused on forestry, no animal dealer was included. Thought I'd read it somewhere. Yeah, this bit along here reminded me very much of Holmerkra, going from the sawmill out along the map. Don't know, yeah. Maybe I'm just imagining things. So we take, actually no, we just carry on the road. Fork goes that way. There's tracks and rivers all over the place. So all out to here, brings us to our final destination. Our next stop, plot 57 and the farmers market sell point. So here's our farmers market, just out here. And there's the additional plot. Unlike the other plots, like I said, this is a placeables plot. Just here for doing whatever you want. It seems inadequate to say at this point, and that's the map, because realistically we've gone from the main locations. There's all of this. I mean, there is so much to explore, so much to look at. And like I say, if you just feel like wander in the woods, get yourself a mountain bike, just go for a cycle, relax, de-stress. There are no collectibles. It doesn't mention them. I looked in the menu as well. It doesn't say anything about collectibles. I just think it's done so well. But anyway, that's Palatinate Forest by West Pfalz Modding. I hope you have found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.